Hello and welcome back everybody for a webinar on embryology. Dear students, we studied embryology first episode yesterday and today we will study the second part of embryology, the series which I have planned for 5 days. So I welcome you again and today we will study 1, 2, 3, that is blastocyst and implantation. Yesterday we studied history of embryology and the germ cells means gametes and fertilization. And today we'll study blastocyst and implantation, and also we will study formation of the germinal disc. The remaining part like E, F, G, we will study tomorrow onwards. So I welcome you again. What is blastocyst and then what is implantation also. So we have studied fertilization. Fertilization means fusion of male and female gametes, and after the fertilization we get a zygote, a single stage, the single cell stage of a life, and this zygote will go in a series of divisions, and that is called as cleavage. Means cleavage means early division of fertilized ovum. Fertilized ovum means zygote, and this uh, uh, cleavage will give rise to some cells, and those small cells are called as blastomeres, or daughter cells from cleavage, what we call. When the cell division reach to the stage of 16 cell, it is called as a morula. So morula is a solid ball-like structure which is covered by the zona pellucida. The zona pellucida is a covering, original covering of the ovum, and here it looks like a morus. Morus means mulberry. Okay, morus is a Latin name for mulberry. Mulberry means tutu in our language. And after morula, the division will go on, and by the stage of 100 blastomeres, the same structure will be now called as blastocyst or blastula. It is called cyst because now it is hollow from inside. So there is an inner cell mass and a trophoblast, and then there is a cavity. So it is called a blastula. So fertilization, it's a penetration of spermatozoa by ovum, and then we get a zygote, and zygote undergoes series of divisions, and these divisions are of ordinary mitotic type. So mitosis, and here the cells are divided. There is an increase in number of cells in the zygote, but there is no overall, increase in the size. Each cycle of cell division takes about 24 hours. The individual cells are known as blastomeres. I told you that morula is a 16 cell stage, and then 32 cell stage is a solid boss, means late morula, what we call, consists of inner cell mass and outer cell mass. The inner cell mass will eventually become the embryo, that is called as fetus, and while the outer cell mass will become placenta. With a cavity formation inside, we'll call it as a blastula or blastocyst. Dear students, you can see different phases of cleavage here. You can see fertilized ovum in a first picture. In the second picture, you can see the second cell stage, which comes after 36 hours of conception. 4 cell stage comes after 48 hours of conception. And here you can see the 8 cell stage after 60 hours of conception. So it will go on dividing and dividing further stages of cleavage. Okay. So cleavage is a series of rapid mitotic division once again. Without cell growth, there is number is increased, but the size is not increased. And when it comes to the stage of 16 cell, we call it as a morula. Here you can see a picture of morula. Morula means strawberry like, sorry, not strawberry, mulberry like structure. Strawberry is quite big, and strawberry comes to a creeper. Mulberry comes to a bushy plant. Mulberry, the what you call the structure of mulberry looks like morula, but this morula looks more like a football. I'll show some good pictures of morula. Here you can see one picture of morula, and it is a 16 cell stage, comes by third day after conception. And these are the different stages of cleavage here. So we can right from ovulation, if we start, the fertilization takes place in the ampulla of fallopian tube, And then on the first day, there is a division into 2, then 3, 4, 5. So likewise on day 3, you'll get a early morula. And by day 4, you get a advanced morula. And by the time it comes in the uterine cavity, the day 6 comes. And here the morula solid ball is getting converted into a hollow ball, and that is called as blastocyst. So morula is a solid ball of cells, and blastula is a blastocele. Cele means with cavity, and inside can inner cell mass and trophoblast. The early division of zygote takes place into multiple cells without increase in size, but there are partitions in the amongst the cells. This is a black and white picture of cleavage. Okay, so continued divisions make the hollow blastula as it advances, and now the cells which are found in the blastula, we call as inner cell mass, these cells are pluripotent. That means they have the potential and capacity to become any of the 22 types of cells in the human body. Because I told you during the study of cytogenesis and cytokinesis that there are around 200 to 220 types of cells in the human body. So all of them are derived from these blastomeres. So these blastomeres are embryonic stem cells, what they are actually called as. So they are all stem cells, and they are pluripotent. Pluripotent is opposite of totipotent. Totipotent cells we get in plant. Okay, and here this is an image of blastocyst or blastula or blastocele. Here you can see external appearance, and from inside, if you see, you will get a hollow structure with the inner cell mass, which is shown here in the orange color. What is blastocyst? It's a hollow ball-like structure with the inner cell mass and trophoblast. It has got two distinct type of cells. The inner cell mass forms the embryo, actual embryo, and the trophoblast or outer cell mass converting into the trophoblast. It is a layer of cells surrounding the cavity which helps in the formation of placenta in future. It floats for about 3 days, and by the day 6, this blastula or blastocyst will get implanted. Now, what is implantation? Implantation takes place on about day 6 after the conception fertilization, and during implantation, the trophoblast, what we saw here, this will get eroded into the wall of uterus. Into the wall of uterus means in inner wall of the uterus is called endometrium, in the endometrium, and takes almost 1 week to complete. If the inner cell mass of a single blastocyst divides, it shouldn't divide. So if there is a complete division of inner cell mass, then we are going to get twins. So it is called as a monozygotic twins, one inner cell mass dividing. Dizygotic twins means there are 2 fertilizations. That is different thing. In one fertilization, if there is at all there is a division of inner cell mass, we get identical twins. So during the time of study of twins and multiple pregnancy on the last day of series of embryology, I'll talk about that. So after 1 week of conception, zygote divides repeatedly, moving down tube towards the cleavage, towards the uterus, which is called as cleavage. The daughter cells which we get ultimately are blastomeres. And I told you the morula comes on 16th day, and by 4th day, 16 cell morula enters the uterus, taking a fluid, becoming a blastocyst. This is a repetition. Here you can see the movement of fertilized ovum in the fallopian tube. So it is going towards uterine cavity. Well, now what is implantation actually? By definition, the process by which the blastocele settles or implants into the endometrium. Endometrium is an inner layer of uterus. Ectometrium, myometrium, and endometrium. So endometrium, the inner layer of uterus, where the blastocyst gets embedded. So it happens from day 6 to day 11th of pregnancy, what you call conception. It takes place in the fundus or body of the uterus, in the upper part of the upper segment of the uterus. And at this place, zona pellucida disappear, usually on the 5th day. Till then, the zona pellucida is intact. It prevents sticking of the developing embryo elsewhere during its travel from ampulla to the cavity of uterus. So that is the significance of zona pellucida. But now it has to disappear because it has to disappear because it has to allow sticking to the wall of the uterus. And this embryo, what we have will it trophoblast, which is going to stick to the wall of endometrium. It proliferates and disperses into two different layers. One is syncytial trophoblast and other is cytotrophoblast. Syncytial trophoblast is outer layer, fused each other, cell boundaries disappear. Cytotrophoblast is inner layer, cell boundaries distinct, and simple cuboidal cell. We'll talk about that once again in the next slide. Here you can see the movement and implantation of fertilized ovum. From here there's a fertilization, and this is a traveling of zygote towards the cavity. Meanwhile, you'll get a morula in between, advanced morula, then blastocyst, and blastocyst is getting implanted, and this is the endometrium where the blastocyst has implanted. On 7th day, there is a implantation on the endometrium of uterus. You can see this image here. Again, you can see right from ovulation to fertilization to division of zygote, what you call cleavage, the formation of morula, then advanced morula, then early blastocyst on 4th day, implantation of the blastocyst on 6th day, and you can see inner cell mass and the trophoblast layer. So this image is a good image to understand everything in detail. So by 2nd week, the implantation has taken place. Inner cell mass divides into two layers, and those two layers are epiblast and hypoblast. Epi means upper layer and lower layer. And two fluid sacs are also formed. Amniotic sac from epiblast and yolk sac from hypoblast. So you can see this yellow color, yolk sac has formed from hypoblast, and this is blue color, you can say amniotic sac has formed from epiblast. And this is a diagram of implantation taking place from day 6 and completing on day 11 after conception. Okay, see, it is gradually going inside, inside, and inside. And by this stage of completion of implantation, we get bilaminar embryonic disc, means two layer in the embryonic disc. You can see those two layers, epiblast and hypoblast, which will give rise to the whole body later on. Third layer is going to come in between for the purpose of bulk. I'll talk about that when we come to trilaminar embryonic disc. Here again, I am showing you the implantation. Implantation means embedding of blastocyst into the uterine lining. Okay, and here you can see the blastocyst with blastocell cavity and those two layers, important layer, trophoblast, outer cell, inner blast, inner layer, which forms embryo. And trophoblast has got two layers, syncytial trophoblast and cellular trophoblast or cytotrophoblast. Okay, the syncytial trophoblast for the eroding into the endometrium, and cellular trophoblast carries nutrient to the inner cell mass. Here you can see the picture of implantation taking place, and here it is implanted fully. And after implantation, the point of contact of blastula on the endometrium is called as a decidua. Decidua, you can see here. Endometrium, when implanted by a blastocyst, becomes a decidua. So decidua is a part of endometrium. It happens only during pregnancy. Rest of the time is only endometrium. Now we are going to call it as a decidua because pregnancy has taken place. So decidua is in three layers basically. 1, 2, and 3. Decidua basalis means it is the exact site of implantation of blastocyst. Decidua capsularis means it is the area of what you call endometrium between implantation site and uterine lumen. When after the embedding, the upper surface towards the lumen, it's called as decidua capsularis because it looks like a capsule. And decidua parietalis means apart from these two, what remains inside the cavity of uterus, all that endometrium, remaining endometrium is called as decidua parietalis. This picture is very nice to understand all those three layers of decidua. Now implantation has taken place in this area of uterus. Okay, so the implantation exact site is this. So this is called as decidua basalis. Opposite to decidua basalis is decidua capsularis, which is towards the lumen. And now remaining part of the endometrium is this, where implantation has not taken place. So this is called as decidua parietalis. You can see some Chinese captions also. Now on day 10, embryo completely gets embedded in the endometrium. Implantation has taken place. In this, you can see amnion and yolk sac. They're quite clearly visible. This is amniotic cavity and this is yolk sac, which are formed from epiblast and hypoblast respectively. And this blastodisc formation of two layers I talked earlier, it's called the bilaminar embryonic disc. Two layers, epiblast and hypoblast. So we get a two-layer germinal disc. So we call it as a formation of germinal disc. First it is two-layer, eventually we get a three-layer, third layer, the last layer. So bilaminar germinal disc, which has got two layers. Well, those layers I told you epiblast and hypoblast earlier also. Now also you can see them here. The inner cell mass gets divided into two layers of cell in the disc on the 7th day. Upper layer is made up of columnar cells which are adjacent to the trophoblast, and lower layer which is made up of cuboidal layer is adjacent to the blastocell. So epiblast and hypoblast. And bilaminar germinal disc, those two layers are shown here clearly, and what type of cells are, make them, that is also shown here. Columnar means they are tall cells, cuboidal means they are short cells. And here you can see the inner cell mass getting converted into two layers, epiblast and hypoblast, and those are magnified here, and you can see this bluish color epiblast and yellowish color hypoblast. Well, now what is the amnion? It comes on the 8th day. So it is a cavity formed by the epiblast, I told you in the earlier slide. So it amnioblast, what we call. Then amniotic membrane, and amniotic membrane gives rise to amniotic cavity, and it is filled with amniotic fluid. So these are the membranes of the fetus for the support of fetus in the further development up till the birth. The primary yolk sac is found on the 9th day, and it forms from hypoblast. So hypoblast to extraembryonic endoderm, primary yolk sac. That is the formation of primary yolk sac. Bilaminar germinal disc as 9th day, it looks like this. And this you can see here implanted embryo and its inner cell mass in two colors. Here you can see the blue epiblast and white amniotic cavity, and here you can see yellow hypoblast and primary yolk sac. Bilaminar germinal disc in another diagram, you can see it clearly here. This one is blue epiblast, greenish is a hypoblast, and these two cavities. Cytotrophoblast and sensitive trophoblast also you can see in this picture, and the decidua. Now here is the exact part of implantation, so this is called the decidua basalis. Don't forget decidua basalis, very easy. Decidua basalis, decidua capsularis, and decidua parietalis. Well, other things which form on 10th, 11th day, 12th, 13th day, or up to the 14th day, we'll see in short. Extra embryonic mesoderm appears on 10th to 11th day. Extra embryonic cavity appear on 12th to 13th day. Extra embryonic mesoderm, visceral and parietal layer appear. Secondary yolk sac forms on 13th day, and body stalk forms on 14th day. Here you can see all the structures. Okay. This is a embryo at 10th day. After 10th day, those things will come. Bilaminar germinal disc here, primary yolk sac, and how you will get secondary yolk sac in this. So here you are getting a secondary yolk sac. The primary yolk sac is getting smaller, and here you can see the body stalk is produced. Here you can see, and this is actually embryo here, two-layer embryo. Well, now bilaminar germinal disc further development is shown in this image. You can see further development. Now you can see the secondary yolk sac clearly, where the primary yolk sac is separated this side. Here you can see the amnion, and here the body stalk is getting formed here. Okay, this is body stalk. This body stalk will later on get converted into umbilical cord. Here you can see the appearance of primitive steak. The primitive steak means which will determine the line of human body. human body is cylindrical. Now here it is plate. So plate is now going to get it converted into, cylindrical. So for that purpose, primitive stick appears. Primitive stick. So primitive stick means it is for the determination of direction of the embryo. Direction of embryo means which is head and which is tail. And here the notochord appears. The notochord appears on 16th to 18th day, and this is a rod which defines the body axis. The body has got a central axis. I told you human body is cylindrical, and it should have a central axis, and that central axis is determined a notochord, where in future in the adult life it becomes a site of vertebral column. So in the vertebral column in adult you have got intervertebral disc. So in the intervertebral there is a nucleus pulposus, slimy thing. That is the remnant of notochord, embryological remnant of notochord. Now the bilaminar disc is getting converted into trilaminar disc. So the two layers will have one more layer in between. So these layers are called as germ layers. Germ means germinal layer. Germinal comes from germination, not from germs, not from kidney. Okay, all body tissues develop from this, and those are ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. Formation of trilaminar germinal disc takes place third week, and this is how the formation happens. Endoderm, primitive groove, hypoblast, and hypoblast get converted into endoderm. Epiblast get converted into ectoderm. So between endoderm and ectoderm, between epiblast and hypoblast, mesoderm will appear. Now this embryonic disc or germinal disc has become three-layered. So it is called as trilaminar germinal disc. The formation of endoderm is nicely shown in this image. You can see epiblast, primitive streak, hypoblast. Okay, and hypoblast getting converted into endoderm. Sorry, epiblast getting converted into endoderm. Here, epiblast. In between, there is a mesoderm. Finally, you get ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. So once again, you see here, epiblast, earlier slide, epiblast and hypoblast. So here there is epiblast, below is a hypoblast. In between, primitive streak. Hypoblast is getting converted into endoderm. Okay, then in between will appear mesoderm, and the epiblast will get converted into ectoderm. Okay, so while talking sometimes we make mistakes, so I had corrected. Ectoderm is a blue, is shown on the image also. Mesoderm is in pink color, and endoderm in a yellow color. You can see at the center there is a notochord. So this is how we have set out the trilaminar germinal disc, that is embryonic disc. So formation of three germ layers. So that is what is called as gastrulation. Okay, on days 14 to 15 day, hypoblast becomes endoderm. On 16 day, mesoderm comes between hypoblast and epiblast, and epiblast cells remaining on surface they become ectoderm. So this is the conversion of two-layer disc into three-layer disc. So germ means germination. Once again, at the end of cleavage, the cells making up the blastula move about, and surface protein help recognize each other, and the gastrula is formed, which consists of three layers. Formation of gastrula means gastrulation is a process. Endoderm, mesoderm, ectoderm. So gastrulation is a formation process by which three germ layers are formed in an embryo, and those are ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Human gastrulation includes two main processes: delamination and migration. Delamination means establishes bilaminar disc composed of two layers, the epiblast and hypoblast, and migration means which establishes three-layer embryonic composed of ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Gastrulation begins simultaneously with the same time as that of implantation. So similarly, it is going at the same time it is happening, And here there are images showing you gastrulation, means formation of 3 layers of embryonic disc. Okay, the A, B, C, D. In the D, you can see all 3 layers have formed. Endoderm, mesoderm here, and ectoderm. Well, the 3 germ tissues or germ layers or germinal layers are coming from the word germination. Germinate means to grow, not from germs, means living creatures. And early specialization of take place and are the precursors of many derivatives in adult life. Ectoderm and endoderm are epithelial tissues inside and outside of the body, because body is cylindrical and it is somehow hollow in the in the center because of gastrointestinal tract. And mesoderma is a mesenchyme tissue, so most of the major bulk of the body is formed by the mesoderm. Mesenchyme cells are star-shaped and do not attach to one another. They migrate freely. And gastrulation is completed here. Third 3-layer germinal tissues or 3 germ layers have formed now. Ectoderm forms from epiblast, and it will give rise to nervous system of epidermis. And endoderm forms from hypoblast, and it will give rise to mucosae. For example, mucosae of gastrointestinal tract and associated glands, and also of respiratory tract. And mesoderm forms everything else, the bulk of the body. We have studied these 3 germinal layers in short today. The same thing we are going to repeat tomorrow uh, in the what you call the detailed study of all these ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm germinal layers and their derivatives in detail. And my dear friends, I think this much is enough for today. And the rest of the part of embryology, further development, we will study from tomorrow onwards. And with this, let us take a break today and come back tomorrow morning. And I thank you all for patiently listening to me without any disturbances. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And see you again tomorrow morning. Have a nice day.